When we think about what the Pens are looking for, what a standard they've set, 2 of the last 3 years winning the Cup and being eliminated this year by the team that won the Cup in Washington, what does this team need to get back to the summit?
A Matt Cullen type.
Ah, there you go.
Matt Cullen type, who a lot of the fans in Pittsburgh know very well. So too do his former teammates. But I think they need some speed. They need some skill on that fourth line. Part of what made them lethal when they had that forward line attack is they had players in their bottom six that weren't just defensive specialists, that just weren't shutdown guys, that weren't good checkers alone, because that would be diminishing their overall impact. They were complete players. They chipped in offensively. They were able to plan a penalty kill. They were able to slide up that elevator if and or when needed to, by way of injury or by way of a player maybe not playing up to par for Mike Sullivan's liking. So I think the biggest thing for the Pittsburgh Penguins is improving that bottom six. Grabner would have been a great add, but as you just heard there, perhaps he's going to price himself out of there, and credit to him. But they need to improve that bottom six. I think if they can improve the bottom six, not only by way of checking and penalty killing, which needs to be much better, but also by way of contributing offensively, pushing the pace, using that speed, playing that relentless forecheck that they have when they're at their best. Let's face it, I had a chance to speak to Sidney Crosby, Mike Sullivan, different people in the Pens organization several times this past season. They had some cup hangover, and that's understandable. That's expected. They scaled the mountain 2 times. Jimmy Rutherford had told me that. Although they were pushing for a third, it wasn't in the cards. They seemed to be a little bit out of gas at different points. In the second half of the season, they stepped on the gas, and they had a tremendous finish. But in the end, it was short. They've set those lofty expectations that you talked about from Mario Lemieux, Ron Burkle, Dave Morehouse, their president, and through the entire staff. They want to win again. The window is still open, so they need to get those pieces that can help complement their team and get them back to ultimately where they want to be.
You mentioned Mike Sullivan. When you talk about their championship runs, plural, back-to-back, he not only had that depth, but he trusted that depth. It's something you and Rupper pointed out during Cup Final with Matt Cullen, that he had the most ice time in their clincher in 2017 of all the forwards at age 40.
Yeah, and Matt Cullen's a guy that kind of like a Swiss Army knife, as I like to say, and he could do pretty much anything. He can play on a power play. He still has legs. He still has speed. He can lock down. He can defend, kill penalties, win faceoffs. You need that versatility. I think that's something that we've seen. Credit to the Penguins, because we saw that from the likes of Matt Cullen, Carl Hagelin. I can go up and down, different players that they had in that quote-unquote bottom six role. Nick Bonino especially. Boy, do they miss Nick Bonino.
HBK.
I really think that HBK, so you lose Nick Bonino, you lose Matt Cullen. That's changed everything. Now, they're looking at Riley Shan as being the kind of replacement type to Nick Bonino. But I'll tell you one thing, they missed those 2 guys. So now, when I look at their team, and not dissimilar from Washington, Tone, I mean, look at Washington's 3rd and 4th line. The 3rd and 4th line were excellent for the Washington Capitals, which is a big reason why they were finally able to get past the Pittsburgh Penguins, to vanquish that demon, so to speak, go all the way to the Stanley Cup and hoist it and have some great parties along the way doing it.